Coach, I asked you something similar before the break, but coming out of it, what do you want to see out of your group to set the tone for the remaining 26 games as you start that off in Atlanta?
Well, before the break we talked about it's just magic basketball. And I think what that looks like is a physical, aggressive, attacking defense, and then offensively sharing, moving it, trusting each other, trusting the pass with a high energy, high spirit, competitive nature each and every single night.
You guys recently faced Atlanta in a loss at home. Paolo and Franz went for 68, which is usually a winning combination to a certain degree. But what stood out from that matchup, and how do you avoid a loss tomorrow?
Well, I think, you learn the lessons in the losses, but you also learn from some of the wins. I think we were in the same scenario versus San Antonio as we were in Atlanta in a close game. So I think being able to dissect the two games and find the similarities of why one is a win and why one is a loss. But I think a lot of it comes down to being able to, one, knock shots down. I think that is a big portion of it. And then defending the right way down the stretch, finding our matchups, finding how we need to guard. Trey is an unbelievable player, and he makes great plays. And they got other guys that are stepping up, stepping in. Us taking care of the basketball is going to be a huge key. I think all those are the small pieces within that game that didn't allow us to come away with the victory.
Kenny mentioned that you kind of have to treat every single one of these games as a playoff type atmosphere, as a playoff type game. Obviously, Atlanta, with where they are in the standings, where you guys are in the standings, being a division game has a little bit more meaning. Yeah. Can you sustain maybe having that playoff intensity? I know you guys want to focus like game by game, but you have to kind of have that playoff intensity right from the start for these games.
I really do believe that there's a difference in how you're approaching it as a playoff game, and the playoff is the focus, the game plan, the attention to detail, the knowing your personnel, knowing who you're guarding, how you're guarding them, what they're running, knowing their sets. That's the intensity or the focus that you have to have. Now the intensity, we're going to continue to play hard. That's just what we do and who we are. And so adding that detail and that focus to hard play is what brings a playoff intensity and playoff atmosphere. Can you sustain it game to game? I believe so, if you're focusing on the game plan, the direct and the right way.
We talked a lot about Kenny's kind of veteran wealth of experience that he has in this league. Obviously, coming out of the All-Star break and knowing his championship pedigree and that kind of background, how valuable can that be for the rest of the team as you guys try to make this push?
It's so good for this group to understand exactly how you need to take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your energy levels. Are you doing the things both on and off the court to make sure you're taking care of your recovery? I think those things are also important. Studying your film, knowing the game plan again. He's a guy that has done that and has done it at a high level to win himself, 2 championships. So I think those things are very important that he passes on to these guys to understand exactly what's needed, in order to give yourself a chance at success.
How's Jalen doing?
Jalen was able just to go through a little bit of the non-contact again, still not going, physically against guys.
It's described as a quad contusion. Is there something like deeper about the bruise or about the contusion that's kind of slowing the process down?
No, you know what? I really do believe, and we've said it before, with Franz out with his oblique and Paolo out with his oblique, I think you look at those as two different bodies with the same injury but recovering differently. And I think it's similar with Jalen. Like, everybody responds to treatment, everybody responds to different injuries differently. Everybody's different. And so you want to treat it as such and not rush a process of getting him fully whole, just to squeak back in, to not be 100% on the court. Because he's trying to push through certain things. I think it's so important that we get him back fully healthy, where there is no nagging pain as we go through it.
Obviously, Mo's been doing some of his recovery that we've been able to see a little bit of, but having him back around the team, what has his energy been like for the group, and what kind of impact can that play, even though he's not on the...
It means more than I think our guys really understand. And it's just his energy that he brings every single day as he's working himself through the rehab, just his spirit, his communication, his energy towards the group and what he knows they're capable of doing and how they can play, and he's seen it real time. And so I think that's so important to have his voice around to be able to communicate these things to this group.
Back to Jalen. Yeah. In regards to the timing of it, I know you guys don't like to put timelines on things, but how challenging is it when there are only 26 games left in 50-something days? When you want to take your time, but also, how is that balance of figuring out when he might be back and also understanding you guys are running up against the wall?
Well, I really do believe that getting it right is the most important thing. And I understand there is a timeline and 26 games left and 53 days now. Yeah, I get that. We all get that. but also the longevity of this young man and his career is also very important, to make sure that we're not rushing something back, that's not all the way right. I think that's very important that we continue to stay on the same page when it comes to that.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Doing well. I'm doing well.
How was your break?
It was actually pretty good. Pretty good.
You're coming up on an important stretch of the season for you guys. What do you want to see your group set the tone right out of the gate up in Atlanta?
Yeah, first and foremost, just going to Atlanta and getting the win. That always, sets the tone, how the rest of these games are going to go. But for us, we just want to come in and the last, 26 games, I think, just take a game by game. Right now we got Atlanta in our way. We've been going over the last 2 days, game planning on what we're going to do. And for us, man, the level of focus and the intention here today has been great. Since the break, everybody's ready to get back to it. And I know everybody want to go to Atlanta and get this win.
How much of a refresh was the break for you guys? I know you guys have kind of had your adversity this year, just to kind of get away, kind of, relax a little bit, and then come back here.
I think this break is always good. We did go through a lot of ups and downs, people getting injured, people coming back, rotation, us dropping a lot of games. But this break was a reset, just to get everybody away from basketball, be with your family, your friends, whoever that may be, and just kind of relax a little bit, decompress. I think everybody came back after off the break with the mentality that they had a great break. They're ready to get back to work and also ready to take on these 26 games and try to win.
You guys just faced Atlanta at home recently in a loss that Kyle and Franz put up 68 points. What stood out to you about that game, and what do you have to adjust from your perspective tomorrow?
I think them guys got to do that again for sure. But for us, just a lot of stuff we game plan for. We kind of messed up during the game. Somehow switching. The calls we had. Just giving them easy baskets, I would say, and I felt like we wasn't down the stretch. We wasn't organized or focused to try to win that game, even though it was a close game. But for us, it's just coming back with the mentality, man. We take these 26 games on one at a time and just trying to win them.
What's key to late game execution?
Being focused, knowing what we need to do, knowing the game plan on what we want to execute down the stretch. And I think the 2 days we came back to practice, I think we cleared it up enough where the down the stretch, late games, we know exactly what we need to do and where we need to be.
You've got a wealth of experience in this league, obviously, and I'm not sure how this situation necessarily compares to other ones you've been in where 26 games for kind of a playoff push late in a year like this. But how can you kind of call on those experiences that you've had in your past to kind of help guide the Magic a little bit?
I feel like just being that veteran leader. Cause these last 26 games are going to be tough than the ones we had before the break. Because everybody's trying to make that playoff push. Most teams are trying to get home court advantage. So we're going to get every team best. And it's going to be the playoff atmosphere every game. And for us, I know we're young, but for us, we got to have the mentality that we're going to come in, we're going to try to outrun everybody, play defense how we've been playing, what we best at, and just try to up our game a little bit more as well. And just in that time, just being focused and intentional on what we're doing.
You guys are obviously hopeful you'll get Jalen back soon, but what impact has his absence had on the team this past month?
It's been a lot. For us, especially defensively, and then offensively, he's our point guard. He get us in spots, and so it just seems like a bit more easier flow with him when he's back. But as far as defensive wise, that's where I think we missing him the most. The way he's put heat on the ball, the way he guards, the energy that he brings. Everybody feed off that, even myself. So just having him coming back as soon as possible is going to be great for us. We think that's going to complete our team.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank y'all.